Hi there! Welcome to a new video. My name is Irene and you are watching the Sugaridoo channel, a channel filled with happy crafty projects for quilting and crocheting. And today I'm going to continue working on the tree house quilt. So here I have my quilt, which I've been working on in the previous videos, and it's all nicely pressed and ready to be basted so I can start quilting it. So I have here my batting, and this one is a 100% cotton one. I always like to use that because it's easy washable and it's nice and thin. And I have some fabric which I'm going to use for the back. This is fabric by Tula Pink, and I have a basting spray. So that's everything I need, so let's start basting. So I went ahead and cut my backing fabric and cut my batting, and I've given them a nice press. So now it's time to make a sandwich. So first layer is my backing fabric, right side down. And there we have the batting, and now it's time to put up the quilt. Wow, this is really going to be a big quilt, but it all fits nicely with some margins around the border of the quilt. So time to take my basting spray and baste this one. Yay! It is all basted. It is a nice, pretty, flat quilt sandwich, all ready to be quilted. And I decided that I'm going to quilt it with triangles. But I'm not feeling too good today, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get to it this week, because I just want to take it easy a little bit. So what I like to do to prepare my sewing machine for quilting a new quilt is I put in a new needle. I clean out the bobbin area of my machine, which always gets super dusty, or what is the English word? I guess it's called lint, right? Well, the fluffy stuff that's left behind when you do a lot of sewing. And I like to prepare some new bobbins with the color of thread that I'm going to work in. So when I run out of bobbin thread, I can immediately put in a new one and continue quilting. And next to that, I clean my table. I make sure that I have a lot of working space so that nothing gets in the way of my quilt. And then the last step before I actually start sewing is marking my quilt. So I decided that I'm going to quilt triangles. And now I have to determine how big the triangles are going to be. So my blocks are 10 inches, so I could divide them into two and make triangles that are 5 inches high. or maybe could divide them into sections of 4 and make the triangles 2 inches high, or 2.5 inch. And I guess the 5-inch triangles I think are a bit too big, because then they're about the same size as the smaller trees. But so I think I'm going to scale it down. So then the scaling of the triangles is between the scale of the design of the background fabric, which is really small. The scale of this one is less than 1 inch, and the little tree is a little bit over 5 inch. So then it's somewhere in between. So I guess I'm going with 2-inch triangles. 2.5-inch triangles. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking some masking tape, and I'm going to tape some rows so that I have some guidance of where I'm going to sew. I'm going to stitch in the ditch between the blocks, and then tape the center line, and then the line between the stitch in the ditch and the center line, I'm going to eyeball it or measure it with the thingy on your machine, which you can what is it? It's kind of a guidance bar which you can use to sew along a line. So first of all, masking the center lines of each block. So let's start sewing with these ones, and then see how it goes from there. I just did my first row of quilting and it's looking lovely. So I used a bit larger stitch length than I would when I'm piecing. So I set my stitch length to 4, which means there are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 stitches per inch. So that's the stitch length that I'm working with, and I really like the look of that on your quilting. So I always use a bigger stitch length for quilting than I use for piecing. Yeah, I guess I'm going to do some quilting over here, and hopefully next week I will be showing you what I'm quilting exactly and how I'm quilting in the triangles. So this week I'm only going to do straight line quilting. Well, on the whole quilt it will be straight line, but parallel quilting. So I've just sewn this line, so now I'm going to sew this line and this line. So I'm going to do all the horizontal lines in the quilt, and then next week I'm going to add the diagonal lines to make it into triangles. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely week, and I will see you next week. Bye bye!